Hey guys, Blackbart here. Bringing to you kind of a different pace video in regards to cheating and hacking in games and admin who overreact to players who are actually good and what they look at, and kind of using this as a training tool for admin on what to look for, how to look at the data and actually pick out what's good or bad. Obviously, in a case like this where a PB screen gets this kind of stupid shit on their screen, it's pretty obvious, but most players are not obvious, and good players can basically fall into the, oh, you're just better than everyone else, so ban. Because basically people don't know how to analyze stats. So I've brought up a whole bunch of different stuff, including my own, so that I can kind of describe a few things and hopefully teach a few admin good and bad things to look for when trying to start investigating somebody. That's another thing. A lot of people don't investigate anymore. They just ban right away if you're better than them. So I've run into that problem quite a lot lately, and I'm just a bit annoyed. So here is a video here. Literally just pulled up a stupid picture of an aimbotter on Google. So let's move on to the real stuff. So we're going to start off with Cheatometer, which is not necessarily one of the best things. This is from Battlefield 3. And here you can see this guy has a 4.5%. which is pretty low on the perspective of things, but I want to show you what's actually giving him the 4.5%, so you can understand how it can actually skew other people's numbers. So this guy has a pretty low KPM, he's got a pretty low KDR, he's got not great accuracy, he's got not great headshot kill rate, low on MVPs. I mean, this guy he's okay, he's not good or bad. I don't know who this is, but don't need to call you out on that. But if you take a look at this string right here, damage, and you go all the way down the line, you have a lot of these popping up as positive, which means one of two things. This player plays hardcore almost exclusively, which it looks like he does, especially when you take a look at sniper rifles having a 77% damage, 78% damage, 90% damage, somewhere around in there. That's the hardcore stat. So this Cheatometer is built off of standardization for standard gameplay, not hardcore gameplay. So this person's stuff is high strictly because of that. He's got a couple of high headshot rates here, but a Magnum is a pretty obvious normal one. These are just decently high. The average high is like 18 to 25% on most of these, so that's all. Shotgun accuracy is always going to be high because it hits with multiple pebbles at once. You can actually have like 300 or 400% accuracy on those, and that's it. So this guy got a 4.5%, and we'll see how that skews other people's stuff in the future. So this one, obviously not a hacker, not anything fishy on his stuff. We can move on. Wrecker here. Here's another one. See, headshot kill rates are really high. 30%, 36%, 38%. Snipers are generally going to be high anyway. The damage ratings are all normal. He plays standard. Okay. He or she, I guess. Wrecker, I'm assuming it's a girl, it's a guy. But if you take a look over here, you have normal accuracies, if not actually low accuracies, 12, 14, 15%. Like I said, the average is between 15 and, well, about 18 and 20 for somebody who's really good. But then you also compare your KPM over here. These KPMs are really low. I mean, your average is generally going to be somewhere in the 2 range, so 2 KPM. For Conquest Large, that kind of thing, you have really low KPMs. So these headshots, he's literally only going for headshots all the time that he plays, which is probably good for other games, not so much for Battlefield. But yeah, that's indicative of this. And that's how he has an 8.5% cheat rate. That's, most people don't ban for anybody over or under like 10%, but that's just explaining how that got there. So if you combine that with hardcore on all of these, then this would go up to about 15%. Well, we'll add the 4.5% from the last one. So you have a 13% cheat, and that person would be banned on a lot of servers automatically without the person even looking at any of the stats. They would literally just go here, go 13%, ban, boom, done. So we have another one here. So you have a couple of things here. KD's normal. One of the deceiving things about people's stats is specifically with Cheatometer, is that it doesn't give you a time frame on when these happen. So somebody can play legitimately for 400 hours and then go up and start cheating, which is where some of these other stats come in. So if we come over here, we looked at Cheatometer. He's got a couple of stats that are kind of weird. High kill shot rate, 4.5 KPM, 3.5 KPM, crazy accuracy for a P90. He plays normal. That's what you can pick up here, and then we move on. So we're going to move over to 24/7 fair play, and you can see that they actually have some stats pulled out, and they're not even the worst ones. So if you come down here to the BF4 stats, you can see a couple weapons. One that sticks out. It's only got 60. He's only got 68 kills with it, but he's got an 83% headshot kill rate and a 3.5 or 3.4 kills per minute, which is not. It's possible, but it's not really possible with how much inaccuracy there is in BF4 weapons. Type 88. He's got 400 kills, a 5.5 KPM, which you can do in certain game modes, but not with a 78% headshot kill rate. It's just not. You're really not going to run into it. On top of that, he's got a 17.5% accuracy. So that's why some of these stats are pulled out. You can see the headshot kill rates. I don't even know what gun that is, but the P90 at a 50% headshot kill rate is pretty hard to do. So, and then again with these KPMs are all normal. I would say if you're going this high on the headshot kill rate, your KPM is going to be lower. And then Type 88, this one's just a standout, 80%. It's 18% accuracy too. So 17.3. So I would start to spectate this person at this point. The other thing that I would look at is once you start seeing high KPMs is come over here to BF3 stats, scroll down, and you can see the game makeup that they have. So you can see team deathmatch is on here, only 40 rounds or so. So you gotta consider probably 50 kills a round. That's gonna be 1,000 kills right there. So roughly, just ballpark numbers. So you can see how a couple of the weapons might be off because of this high KPMs. Conquest, all your numbers can be lower because you run into people less often, unless you're in vehicles only. Rush is generally going to be one of those where you're running into much less people by comparison per minute than something like TDM or domination. Close quarters domination is definitely where you're going to get your highest KPMs. So this guy I would put under suspicious. I would start spectating this character at that this person at that time, and then determine whether or not they're cheating. I don't have any spectating stuff yet pulled up on here because we're just going to go over stats, but this process, once you find somebody who's suspicious, always leads towards spectating that person next. You don't just go, oh, unless they're just astronomically bad, like way off. Then you wouldn't. But if you had like a 50% or higher, then you might just ban them. But you're not going to do it for just this, or you shouldn't, I should say. So we'll close out his stuff. Here's a case, okay, 18.5%. He's got a decent kill per minute. He's got decent accuracy. KDR's high normal. MVP's high normal. You take a look here. You have high KPM, high accuracy. So the first thing you would do is you would go drop this guy's name in under BF. You go look at BF3 stats. You scroll down. You have a very small amount of stuff on here, and it's actually not showing what games he plays. That's awesome. He didn't play any games. Means he probably plays Domination because it's not on there. That's strange. You can always come down here and check the stuff. So he plays Team Deathmatch only. So your KPM's going to be high in Team Deathmatch. They're most likely, we could take a look here at history. This history graph is terrific. There used to be a way to, I love data. There used to be a way to actually import that directly into Battlelog, but I don't remember how to now. Okay. So this guy, I would say, generally speaking, based off of his cheatometer here, high KPM due to just being in TDM only. Decently high, that's not even really suspicious high accuracy. That's normal. M16. I would completely write off this guy. It just jumped up to 28%. I don't know why. But it's not anything that I would be concerned with. I might spectate this guy for like 5 minutes. I wouldn't worry about this guy. And he's got a 28%. A good way to bump this up. So there's double XP weekends on BF3. He just started a character. If he started on double XP weekend, this would be 1600, and this would have jumped to like 45%. And it was only because the game wasn't doing double XP. So I wouldn't worry about that guy. All right. So we go over to Ungrint here, and you can see some red right off the bat. Red's not usually a good thing to see. You take a look at his stats, KPMs, decent, some of them pretty high. I mean, you're talking about AEK, which if you're playing TDM, that's a normal high. M16, normal high. 416, normal high. And then your pistols are always going to have high because you just pull them out for that one thing and put them back away. So those are always going to be higher than normal. Headshot kill rates, Rex. No. See, those are pistols. You're generally going to want to aim for the head because that's the only way you can really kill people. So not worried about that. What I am worried about is his KD is 11.6. Okay. His main weapon is not a tank or something. His main weapon is an AEK. He's got a 4.5 kill rate. And he's got an 11 KD. So this guy's going to stand out to me quite a lot. You go ahead and take a look at the games that he's played. He's playing TDM, playing Conquest. Okay. 32 wins, 1 loss. That's kind of strange as well, too. But Conquest. That means you're... The reason why the KPMs are high are because he was playing TDM. Sorry. He was playing TDM. That's crazy. But to play TDM and have an 11 KD is 11.6 KD is insane. So you come over to his Cheeto meter, and obviously this is high. Nothing else is really suspicious in here. Headshot kill rates with the force with these two pistols is pretty normal for being that high. Headshot kill rate for AK, that is decently high, but I wouldn't consider that suspicious until I saw this, the KD being 11.56 or 11.6. So I would start to spectate this guy for sure. All right, now we'll get into my stuff. So the rest of this is my stuff. So this is more in-depth look at stats and what causes them to do what. This is literally just goofing around, doing the helicopter trick on Firestorm until I got a headshot with a buddy. I think we could have gotten out to like 3,000 meters, but we couldn't hit shit, so we moved a little closer. My KPM is high. Kill streak is decently high, but I'm seeing a lot higher. A lot of this is vehicle work, so once you get into a helicopter or something like that, you can pretty easily get a high kill streak. And my score per minute is high. You come over here and you take a look at all the green and yellow. First off, underslung launcher, I have an 8% headshot kill rate. That's a standout. But anyway, you take a look at your KPMs. A lot of these are high. A ton of these are high, actually. And then the other one that's high is kills per hit. Okay. This is your damage in the Cheeto meter. So if you exclusively play hardcore, these are always going to be high. So you go down the list and you can see a lot of these are high. Shotgun, 62% of my hits killed. 91% of my hits killed because it's a sniper rifle. In hardcore, you one-shot anybody you touch, except for strange like foot shots. So a lot of almost all of these are going to be high. The USAS, yeah. All your shotguns are going to be high on the accuracy. So I'm trying to see if I can find one of the accuracies that's actually over 100. 78. Nah, those are all decent. I've seen people like 200-300 accuracy on these, and that's just because they're shotguns. They can hit you with multiple pellets. So that's how high those are in BF3. Now you come over here. Headshot kill rate. Red. I got probably one headshot. Oh, I got 3 headshots with the 3 grenade launcher. Whatever. Come down here and you see the same stats are high. KPMs are a little lower because actually BF4 the maps were larger even on domination, and I played a lot of domination, but the maps were larger, so the KPMs all went down. Hardcore, you can see all the damages are up again. So then we got what? I don't remember what KK is. Oh, kills to kill assists. Yeah. KPM, relatively high. Longest kill streak, whatever. Score per minute. Again, if you're in a thing with high KPM, your score per minute is going to be higher. So we can take a look at other stuff here. We go over to Cheeto meter. It says I'm at 20%. You can take a look. The damage is high because these are all hardcore, and this thing's set up for softcore. And the KPMs on almost all of my weapons are high because in BF3, close quarters domination was amazing. It was so much fun. And I played probably 3/4 of the hours that I played of this game on that. So we'll come over here and we'll go to, well, the advantage to coming to Fair Play first is it has access to all this stuff. Metabands is no longer around, thank God. That is one of the dumbest. I mean, it was a great initial idea, but it went terribly wrong. The admins, yeah. Anyway, anybody running metabands, if you got banned for saying fuck you to an admin, it would ban you on all metaband servers, which is stupid. if you got banned because somebody didn't look at your stats right, you get banned on all MetaBAM servers. So it's really stupid. It was a good initial idea because it kind of links all the admin together if all the admin actually knew what they were doing. But Cheeto meters on here, FR stats doesn't work anymore, iStats doesn't work anymore, those are no longer around. BF4 database is pretty good. I actually have it pulled up here. GGC is good, ACI is good. You have to have logins for both of these though, I believe, in order to view them. So they can access all this stuff and they can see if you're trying to change accounts, but you're linked by GUI, your GUI ID. So those will link there. So if you see somebody's changed their names 100 times, usually unless they're all troll names, there's something suspicious they're trying to hide. So we can come over here to GC. We can check and see if I've changed my names and how many games we've played with those names. You can see active bans on here, although I don't remember how it comes up, just because I haven't been banned. And I didn't bring up anybody who has been banned, so I just forgot. But you can also switch this over to BF4 and send it, and it'll show you what all is involved in the GUID. So good here. It'll show if you've been banned by GGC. Again, it will ban you across all of those. You can come to ACI, which is again on the fair stuff here. It'll automatically put in the info you need. You have to have a login, but this will tell you whether or not through streaming applications checking, like I can't remember exactly which one checks it. It's PB bans or another one. They actually check to see if you're aimbotting, among other things. But this will basically show you if you're clean BF4 account as well. You can come over here, and this will actually pull out suspicious stats and put them up here, as well as things like if you're over time, if there's a strange hike in a specific stat, specifically doing with headshot kill rates, accuracies, or KDR. So if this stat, which won't move if, and you'll see that this is tracked by hour. So if there's a section where somebody plays legitimately and then it automatically goes from like normal stats to like headshot kill rate goes through the roof for like a prolonged period of time, it'll show up here. This also has stuff. I don't think PB screens works anymore, but this will show you damage. Again, all these are going to be high because I only play hardcore, and then KPM here all the way down the line for that. Those are the only things that are green and yellow. Yeah, nice red KPM there. Anyway, then you can come over here and you can take a look at the amounts. I mean, you take the amount of games that are played, quite a lot, but they are nothing compared to. If we come down here, we have Gunmaster 86. Let's see, where did Squad Deathmatch 36, literally only to get objectives. Team Deathmatch 400, Conquest 1800, Rush, I hate Rush. Squad Domination, where is Domination at? I never remember where it's at. There it is, 1300. So you see a lot of KPMs, a lot of kills come from here. So all those stats are going to cause a big variance. Domination winner. Domination ribbons, domination winner, quite a lot. Anyway, so that's just kind of an inkling on what to look for, where instead of just going here and going, oh, 20% ban, you should actually know the kind of servers you're playing on, the kind of people, the stats that are actually behind those numbers coming up, and kind of rolling from there. I mean, I've seen time and time again where I've been banned in like Battlefield Hardline because they went back to Cheeto meter and just went, oh, 20%, you're banned in Battlefield Hardline, and instead of coming in here and actually looking at the stats. So it's pretty terrible. There's a lot of these tools for a lot of games, and they're either not used or not understood by players who have admin status. And my job is, and you can see on my YouTube channel, I post spectating cheaters. I look at their stats first. If I ever feel that there's suspicious stats or anything like that, unless they're completely obscene, I will spectate a person, and I will do it constantly. Another thing I forgot to bring up, a trend among cheaters is their quit rate will be very high, usually 35 to 50% at least, which is where I hope this guy's name is still down here on the bottom. Nope. That's really zoomed up. It was for that picture. But you can come in here. You can also just check through some other people's and actually just test and see. Oh, here's that guy. You can see on here his quit rate is 55%, which is another thing that leads me to believe that this guy's not legitimate. But you can just practice. Come in here. Other people have started looking at people who they think are suspicious, or they look themselves up usually. But you come in here, you have 18%, level 12. It's kind of a small sample size. This is just for KPM, so this guy probably just plays TDM because that's pretty much the only thing still active on BF3. 20% crit rate is relatively normal, not a big deal. KPM, KDR is good. Yeah, I wouldn't even bother spectating this kid. Just move on. But yeah, so you can definitely hone your skills by looking at this stuff here. 10% here. It only shows one weapon, really small sample size. Assault rifles, 32% headshot rate, but there's only 100 kills. You can't really go off of that. If you were suspicious, you would definitely spectate at this point, but I wouldn't really feel the need to. I'm not going to say that anybody with a 0.1 Cheeto score is not worth looking at, but if I'm looking them up, I'm going to probably spectate them anyway. Yeah, these guys are just somebody looking at themselves. 19%. So we can come in here. We could take a look at headshot kill rates are pretty high. But 30% is really not that high. 40% on 200 kills. It's decent accuracy. Kind of low accuracy actually. Really low for a sniper rifle. I might spectate this guy, but I don't think that he would come up with anything. Pretty sure this guy's legitimate with a 20% low kind of damage model here. Not really a big deal, but like I said, if you're ever suspicious on anything, spectate. The person leaves immediately. Your suspicion stays there. The next time they come in, you leave the game immediately, start spectating. If they leave immediately, then you can pretty much ban them. I always encourage people to spectate me 100% of the time. I stream all the time when I'm playing this stuff. I stream in windowed mode, so you can see everything on the screen. So I have everything running. I can minimize, I can do whatever. So yeah, you pretty much just go from there. and it's not a big deal. So this is probably just the first part of this video series here. I've kind of blabbered on. I know it's been about 20 minutes or so I'm going to wrap this up now. But really, honestly, leave questions and comments if you have questions about how I've come up with this stuff. A lot of this is just through 25 years of playing shooter games, 28 years of playing shooter games. It's been a long time. It's been 25 years because it was 93. So I'm decent at shooter games. I'm not the best. I'm not going to ever be a pro player or anything like that. It's just, I get very frustrated, especially in games that are not so popular anymore. There's not a lot of servers, getting banned off of servers for literally no evidence other than, oh my gosh, you had a bunch of green and yellow on your stats. Didn't bother looking at what stats were actually there. Didn't bother talking to me and letting me explain. Didn't bother spectating. You can spectate. You can watch me on Twitch all night, get shot in the back, shot in the side. It's one of those things. So, and I'm happy to explain what I'm doing. We will definitely move on. We'll go over spectating actual cheaters, which I have quite a few videos of, from the obvious to the less obvious, and kind of move from there. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll definitely catch you guys a little later. Thanks. Bye.